Welcome everybody to Astromegistus HT's Den, the 15-minute podcast that tells you all the information that's going on with the company. We do not hold back. I'm going to spill the beans and the tea. So, in essence, what's been happening? Oh my God, it's been a crazy summer. It's been an amazing time with everybody's help that is involved in making this dream come true. And what's the dream? Well, in essence, the dream is about having a website that allows astrologers as well as their clients, coaches and their clients, and eventually also tarot card readers, palmistry, and psychics to have a central place that offers, I would say, quality, offers enhanced experiences, offers people that are actually vetted and know what they're doing. It's not a cheap little, $3 a minute kind of like late at night show. We are here to, and we mean business. And what do I mean by that? The dream is to have a website that actually offers the real deal. It takes you seriously, it takes people and it takes businesses seriously in the daily struggle that we all have. Astromegistus and its affiliated astrologers, coaches, psychics, tarot card readers, palmistry readers in future, of course, are all here with a serious effort in finding solutions to problems. This is typically when people come to a website or to an astrologer or to a coach, etc. It is when they feel that they're at their wits' end, they experience some form of crisis, they don't know anymore what to do, they need an immediate answer. And there are plenty of examples for that. Your husband leaves you in the middle of the night. Of course, that also applies to a wife leaving the husband in the middle of the night. And you're sitting there without anything. Your whole life is falling apart. That's what it feels like. So the dark night of the soul, basically, right? You just lost your job. You had no idea that was coming, and you have no idea how you're going to pay your bills because you live paycheck to paycheck, like so many people around the world do. You have a property that you need to sell, but you don't know if it will actually sell in the market. Or you do want to invest money, but you're not sure if your investment is going to be safe and sound with the decisions that you would make. These are all different kinds of charts that you would get. We have a large selection of charts. Just as an example, we go from the regular natal chart or the birth horoscope. That is what most people sort of understand there is, and it tells you a little bit about who you are in this life. However, astrology goes much deeper. You can go to beyond your birth, the time before you were born. Basically, when the soul that cohabits your body made a decision to choose this body that that you live in, or that you are at the moment. And this cohabitation explains certain things that are going on in your life. So, and then also it depends on what kind of connection there is between you and the soul that you have, and how all of these things work together. Karma comes in. Then we look at early life stages. Then we look at, if you're older than 30 years, you had your first Saturn return, which means Saturn has been revolving around the sun one time, which is roughly between 27 and a half to 29 and a half years. And that is when another change happens in most people's lives. Not everybody has a major change. Some people have a super change. But that is something that we can find out, and we can see, okay, what changes do happen. That involves almost everything most of the time. When the change is a change, then usually it involves your work, your career, your home, how you relate to people, etc., etc. So there are many answers, and usually out of a natal chart, or out of this, like what I call the Astromegistus reading, which is this whole enchilada that I was just talking about, this whole long, big information. You can also then get additional answers, like, for example, focus on career issues, or focus on where actually do I find, like you are then able to decide on where do I place my focus. Do I want to have a focus because that's what the chart tells me? This is what I'm here to do. Is my focus on relationships? Is my focus on career? Is my focus on being a good Samaritan and helping people around the world? Where am I? Is my focus on being an artist or an influencer or this or that or something else? The chart is telling you that. Once you know that, you can go ahead and actually find out where in the world am I going to have the most success in doing this. That is called a relocation chart. Might as well be that where you are at the moment, that is your best place. Often it's not necessarily a bad place, but again, if you want to put emphasis on a specific place, we can find out through relocation. Of course, I hear you guys that do not have any information on your exact birth time go like, well, how am I going to benefit from this? I don't have my birth time. This is what we have, what is called a rectification for. That means that you would go and book the rectification chart, um, which we call the roast, on the website on astromegistus.com. By the way, if you use the QR code in the top right corner, it takes you to the homepage. And then you need to look under products to find that, but they're nicely put together, and you'll find for your birth time roast, you basically meet an astrologer, and this person is going to look at the day that you were born and is going to ask you specific questions on, okay, what was happening at this or that time? How did you experience whatever time frame, etc.? And by asking questions, the experienced astrologer is typically able to understand the most likely birth time. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it usually works out to be pretty much correct as far as you experience your life events, etc., etc. So once you have that, that opens the door to everything else. So really, even if at the moment you do not know your birth time, please don't despair. Come to the website astromegistus.com and book the rectification chart reading. And then we also have the horary, which gives you yes and no answers. And we do have the elections, which is when is the best time to do whatever. Marry somebody, sell something, start a business, you name it. You can ask, okay, when is the best time? We do have people that help you find the correct election. That's a little bit more complicated. They have to understand you a little bit. They have to ask you questions. They will provide 3 different charts that they explain to you why they chose these specific moments in time, and they will also tell you which is their preferred one, but in the end you make the decision, and then you decide on one of these charts, and this will be explained to you. So what's been going on with the company itself? Just because this is the first podcast and you might be a little bit curious, I don't know, some of you might even have followed some of the setup of the company, and you will have found out that we have had a very interesting start with having to redo certain things, and um, like any business that you start, it's like, okay, getting all your ducks in one row, making sure from accounting through finance, through marketing, through developing the website, getting the people involved that you would want to have involved, etc. I mean, it's just a long rat's tail of all sorts of things that need to come together, be organized, fall into place, leading everybody to be, at times unnerved, hopeful, then losing hope, then being overworked, not having enough sleep. And on our day of going public, and of course, this is an astrology business, we chose a specific day and time because it was an auspicious birth time for the company to launch it officially into this world. Basically, we had almost like the 3 mages and Jesus. We had all the astrologers from the first hour being in the meeting room, welcoming the new business into this world. And so it's kind of like a joint baby for everybody involved. And one of the ideas that we had, which you might have already seen because you're also on the YouTube channel of Astromegistus, was that we created the talk shows where not all, but some of our astrologers decided that they would be interested in becoming talk show hosts. And so we always paired people up. So it's a little bit more exciting rather than being a monologue. We have people going back and forth about what they see, and inviting guests to the show, and being skeptical, asking best questions, querying stuff, and in that light, bring everyday situations to your world, see how it relates to your life. So it becomes a little bit more plastic, a little bit more relatable for everybody who's listening to this. And we also, I would like to point out, we do have astrologers who do speak different languages. We have people who speak English. Obviously, everybody speaks English. We do have also some astrologers who speak German. We have people who speak Spanish, several people who speak Spanish. Also, Russian and Latvian would be coming up soon. Um, and I would just, like I said, welcome everybody to give it a try. So, but back to what was going on. So on this day, when our baby was born, the baby astromegistus.com, we had major technological breakdowns. For some reason, the studio that we work with shut off. It just after 10 minutes, roughly 10 minutes, it shut down and it was unnoticed for quite a while. We kept talking and then we go like, oh my God, like 15 minutes into this, we find out that we were offline actually for 15 minutes. So we had to redo the whole thing, be really quick, think on our feet, restart. And that is actually what you see on our YouTube page, where you see the first 10 minutes and then we restarted. But then that was even funnier. I mean, you cannot make this up. And I don't know if it was just the universe playing a little trick on us and testing our patience and our resolve. But literally during those 45 minutes, we constantly were challenged with either the sound didn't work, then the camera didn't work. Then the other person would not hear us. We would not hear the person talking. It was just unbelievable, and in the end we were all laughing, making light of it, and we're saying, you know what, that is just how life is. It does not always go as we plan. And we were facing our own crisis, and what did we do? We just looked at it, tried to find a solution, which we did, and we just continued with a smile on our face and thought, okay, well, this is what the universe is showing us. We are meant to work with crisis moments, and we are ready to do this. Um, and this has been 2 weeks ago. In the last 2 weeks now, we have had different talk shows going on. We're still getting our feet wet. So I really am appreciative and grateful to anybody who comes and visits the shows. I think they're already really great, but please bear with us. We're still working our way into being like really smooth and professional and everything. And from what I can tell you, you can expect some really amazing stuff coming in November. Some pretty good guests already in some of the talk shows that are lining up. And also, we plan, hopefully, it will work. It depends on the programmers that we have in the background. But we are working on getting a Black Friday to Digital Monday kind of special weekend together so we can offer to our loyal customers, friends, and curious people. We can offer some amazing experience for that Friday through Monday event coming up. And then maybe also actually we will do something like a Christmas and New Year special, um, but that is in the future still. Something else that you can expect in the future, but this is like a little bit away, is that we will start offering webinars, but that will come sometime early next year, probably around March. So it's a little bit early to talk about that. Our immediate situation will be that we will offer some amazing talk shows. We will rework actually also the homepage of Astromegistus. We were listening to feedback and found that indeed there needs to be some improvement in the way it communicates to the people, in making it easier to find a way and to help you get to the products that you need to go, and to really answer, making the whole process as smooth as possible. And that said, I would actually also, you guys that are interested in regular interaction with the website, I think it will really, not only I think, I know it will really pay off becoming a paying member. Even if you say right now, oh, well, I don't know if I want to do that. The annual membership on the classic level is $70. Yes, it is. But if you plan to have several readings done and also coachings, this will amortize real quickly because you do get your discounts. And if you have several readings done within a few readings, you will already have your money back in your pocket. In addition, throughout the year, we will add additional things that will only be available to the classic and premium members. And premium, by the way, when you do decide to become a premium member, what you will find is that you will get even higher discounts. And also, even though it's not available right now, we would like to get special access to, for example, our talk shows, where you could then ask our hosts directly questions through WhatsApp. Unfortunately, right now this is not working yet. We were working on that, and that's basically it. With that, I don't want to, take your time for any longer. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope it was entertaining and in particular informative. Our 15 minute then is meant to be informative and give you information what's going on in the company. And if this at the moment will only be bi-weekly, as soon as more things are coming online and we have more business going on, expect this to switch to a weekly show. I thank you very much. I hope all of you have a lot of fun with our website, and all the best to you, and I'll see you soon.